Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash, I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And you join me today in the woods. It's a sub-zero day. You can probably see my breath, it's really rather cold. And I'm trying to keep myself warm. I've got a nice fire going here. So today I'm going to answer a question from a viewer that relates to probably one of the more popular topics on the channel, and that is shoe maintenance or the mirror shine. So today's question comes from somebody called Edward, who says, I enjoy your channel and I'm from the United States and have a reputation for spit shined or at least highly polished shoes and boots. Many folks advise a spit shine only on the toe cap of a shoe. I do the whole of the leather. Many folks mention the cracking of the mirror gloss where the leather flexes, which is true. I find that polish can usually last for at least 1 or 2 wears, and that a bit of heat with a hairdryer can fix up any cracking. I was watching a video of boot polishing by the Queen's Guards recently. They appear to be mirror bright to me. I was wondering if you might comment on the way the Queen's Guards boots, the shine, looks different to other shoes that you might encounter. Okay, well, let's talk about that thing. That elusive of things, up there with mermaids and unicorns. The mirror shine. All right, the mirror shine is the apex of shoe finishes when it comes to a gentleman. And I think it has remarkable qualities to improve your overall appearance. Because even if your shoes are of relatively low quality, you can get a mirror shine on there, and that will elevate the look of those shoes and elevate the entire look of your clothing. So it's well worth investing time in understanding how a mirror shine works and how to do it yourself. Now, in order to understand the question, what basically Edward is saying there is that most people, and I include myself in that category, will typically only apply a mirror shine to the toe cap of their shoes. And people avoid getting that whole shoe to give you a mirror shine, because if you were to apply that mirror shine throughout the shoe, there'd be many maintenance issues. But to understand why, I think we have to understand how a mirror shine actually works. So here I've got a typical shoe. This is a Grenson quarter brogue in black, very common style of shoe that many of us will use for day-to-day use. Now this shoe clearly has the delineation, which makes it easier for us as a shoe polisher, of the toe cap. The toe cap is picked out for us in the with the quarter broguing going across that toe cap. So it's nice easy space for us to do our mirror shining. And on this particular pair of shoes, I have indeed merely applied the mirror shine to the toe cap. Now the reason I haven't extended that shine back over the vamp and the hindquarters of the shoe is because, again, it's the way that the mirror shine works. Now for a mirror shine to work, basically we have to apply layer after layer after layer of polish onto the shoe and bring it to a fine sheen, because those layers allow that deep lustrous shine to take place that we all seek as mirror shiners. And the depth of the layers of polish allows, when the light to hit that polish, to refract off it, and that's what gives us the mirror shine. So basically it's layer and layer of polish built up over the grains and the pores of the leather. It fills them all in, and it gives us this perfectly smooth surface which we can bring to that shine. The light hits it, reflects off, that's a mirror shine. Now the problem is, if we apply that mirror shine to the body of the shoe, maybe the vamp for instance, where the shoe flexes, as we can clearly see there, all right? Those layers of polish which are built up into a sort of a crust or a shell of polish over the leather, when it flexes, it's going to crack. And in most cases, if we were to apply a mirror shine to the vamp, so this part here above the toe cap, between the toe cap and the lacing system, where the shoe flexes, as our foot flexes as we walk, it will cause that polish to crack and most likely flake away. And what we're going to be left with is a bit of a moonscape of craters on our shoe, where the polish has flaked, fallen off, and it's not going to look very nice. Now, as Edward has suggested, it's something which can be alleviated. So if we have applied a mirror shine and it has cracked, it might last 1 or 2 times, as he says, but we're going to have severe cracking, probably flaking of the polish as it falls away. We could, as has been suggested, get a hairdryer out, heat the polish, and then redistribute the polish over that area by, moving it around with a rag on our finger, whatever. And yeah, it's a lot of work, and we are getting just right back to where we were before. So it's not something that I do personally. So my own approach to applying a mirror shine is somewhat simple, actually. So typically with a shoe like this, I've got a nice obvious space in which to go for my mirror shine. And that's going to be on the toe cap for me. And that's the only area that I'm going to apply that gleaming, dazzling mirror shine to my shoe. Because to do it all over, very time consuming, it's going to be very, very obvious on my shoes as well. They're going to almost look like they are patent leather. And all I'm seeking to do really when I apply a mirror shine to my shoes is to demonstrate to the people who encounter me that I am in command of the skill which is necessary to provide a mirror shine on my shoes. Now, I don't want to appear to people that I am in harness to that mirror shine, because clearly if I shined up the whole shoe, I would be spending hours on a regular basis maintaining that shoe. And that's not really the impression that I want to give. I'm trying to hit that sort of tightrope in the middle of showing people, look, I know how to do a mirror shine. I've demonstrated that on my shoes, but I haven't got to the extent where it's become weirdly obsessive for me by applying it throughout the shoe. And then, this shoe has me as its slave. The shoe is my overlord, demanding a mirror shine, and I'm putting hours and hours of work into it. That's not where I want to be. I mean, I see a similar thing. I have a young son who's into sneakers, and he has this fascination with his sneakers, and these sneakerhead guys, they put a sort of a little shoe protector, a crease protector inside the shoe to stop their shoe flexing so they don't get creases in the leather. Now that to me is weird. That is suggesting that you're not even using the shoe in the way that it normally should be used, because you're not even flexing your foot. And you'll recognize this in sneakerheads because they have this unusual gait to their walk because their foot doesn't flex. They have a sort of penguin-like waddle to them. That's not me, all right? For me, it's all about using the shoe in its normal way, but having this wonderful shine to demonstrate to people, look, I am an intentionally well-dressed man. I know how to achieve a mirror shine, and this is how I've done it. Okay, now finishing up, Edward has made reference to the Queen's Guards, all right? So, and how their shoes or boots look startlingly different. They have a mirror shine, but they look strikingly different to perhaps the average man in the street. So, and certainly even the average military person. So what's all that about? How do they achieve it? Well, the Guards Division of the British Army, they have an interesting role. They're obviously frontline fighting soldiers, infantry, armoured infantry or whatever, but they also carry out a proportion of their duties on ceremonial duties in London. Guarding Buckingham Palace, Kensington Palace, all the other, significant places which the royal family have as their residences. And as a consequence, they have those very distinctive red tunics. And of course, the boots have to be comparatively superb. So they tend to wear these rather large ammo boots, which are, not general army issue, but they're issued for ceremonial purposes. Now, to bring them up to that almost incredible, unbelievable mirror shine, there's a process. All right. So what they do, they take that boot in its raw sense, ordinary leather, and they cover that boot with several layers of melted beeswax. Now, the purpose of applying beeswax to the boot is, the boot will have natural pores in it. It's leather, right? It's a natural substance. The pores are where, the hairs sprouted from the donor animal. The boot will also have some imperfections. There'll be some graining to the leather. And to get that remarkable mirror shine, what we want to do is build up that layer after layer of polish so that our our final mirror shine can be applied to the top. Now the way they shortcut that process is to cover the boot with beeswax. They melt it, it's applied to the boot, and then it gives that uniform total smoothness to the leather. And then they can apply normal black polish. I don't know what they use. I'm going to guess it's kiwi, because I suspect the average squaddy isn't using sapphire, but I could be wrong. Any squaddies out there watching this, let us know what your favourite polish is. And they will then apply that to the top of the beeswax, of that shell of beeswax to the boot, and they will get that startling mirror shine, which is so representative of their, incredible appearance. But there's a downside to that. What you have to remember here is that applying those layers of beeswax and the polish, it means the boot has become rigid. All right, it's stiff. It no longer could flex, even if it was able to flex. I don't know if even in its natural state, it would flex very much, because they're very thick leather soles with metal studs in the bottom. But covered in all those layers of beeswax and polish, they're going to be entirely rigid. So in essence, for its purpose as a boot, it's only really any good for ceremonial purposes, where the soldiers will march a relatively short distance, be on parade standing still for a little while, and then march back. These are not boots which are worn in daily use. They are ceremonial. They'll be worn, polished, put away, brought out for ceremonial purposes, and that cycle will be repeated. So it's not the normal life cycle of a boot. They'll virtually only be worn over very short distances, and then for use in the public eye, where that mirror shine is oh so important. So whilst there's something to learn there, how to get that remarkable shine using beeswax to shortcut that smoothness and that refraction of the light, truth is, for most of us, I can't imagine an application in daily life, ordinary life, where that would be useful. But, you make a good point. They do have a remarkable appearance, and I think they look some of the smartest soldiers in the world, and show us, really, they shine a light on how good a mirror shine can make your appearance glow. So there we go, Edward. I hope you found that of some use in answer to your question. A mirror shine absolutely is the apex of every man's shoes, and it's well worth learning that skill and cutting a dash through life with a mirror shine. Doesn't matter what shoes you're wearing, get a mirror shine on there and they will be the center of attention. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you'd like to see more, click the subscribe button. If you'd like to practically support the channel, you can do that most easily by buying me a coffee. And the link to my Buy Me a Coffee page is in the show notes below. And if you go to my Buy Me a Coffee page, I actually put podcast updates of my life behind the scenes on the Chap's Guide as well. And it doesn't cost anything. You don't have to buy me a coffee. Just pop along there, join the group, and benefit from my podcast updates. So until the next time, take care. Wear your shoes or boots with a startling shine. Be the best version of yourself, and I will see you again very soon.